Good morning. I'm Tim. It's 6/16/2014. It's a Monday. These are my thoughts, my ramblings, my story. I've also, besides this, I've also got a blog, Nalon Mit. It's my name spelled backwards, Nalonmit. You can type it into search and it'll take you there. Um, I got, I've had it since about '09. I'm stumbling all over myself. I've had that since about '09, and I got a comment on there on the 8th. And I may have missed it, but I never read your thoughts about 12/21/12 after the date passed. Seemingly, to me, nothing of importance happened. I have been waiting for many years for this time of change, have read from so many different sources that this was to be the great dimensional shift for Earth and humankind. What are your thoughts, Tim? JP. Um, I was hoping that we'd wake up the my father-in-law is going to a care facility, and hopefully my wife soon will have time to trim my mustache because it's about ready to drive me crazy. Okay, uh, myself, I wish that we would have woke up that morning and been in light bodies. I was sure hoping. I couldn't figure out how it happened, but I figured that they knew more than I did. So yeah, it was possible. Anything's possible, but it didn't happen. But it is happening slowly. I think on December 21st, 2012, the door of the old completely closed. The door of the new started opening. There's an overlap, kind of like there's no straight dividing line of the time of change. One kind of bleeds off and the other one starts and laps over and continues on. So we're still in that time of change. So we're still getting the negativity and the positive things. The most that we can do, the best that we can do, is start making the change in ourselves. A friend of mine, Jerry Wills, he's got a website if you want to check him out, jerrywills.com. He's a medical intuitive, a healer. He works all over the country, the world. He's does travel. He does trips. I went with him for 18 days down to Peru. I studied with him for about a year and a half, or took his courses, or I was with him for about a year and a half, doing things, classes and things like that. And I asked him one time, with all you can see and all you know, how can you deal with what's going on in the world? And his answer was very simple. He sees what's going on, he knows what's going on, and he knows there's nothing he can do to change what's going on in the world. The change he can make is within himself, and hopefully others will see that and start making a change within themselves, and it'll spread. And I don't know whether you've ever heard of it before or not. It's called the 100th monkey syndrome. Um, Families, or however they pods or whatever they are of eight monkeys, they can be separated and have absolutely no contact. But when it hits the critical point of this group doing something, it'll automatically shift. I think the story was on washing its food or breaking its food open with a stick. After a certain point, these monkeys on this island knew how to do it, and about the same time that they reached critical mass here, ones on other islands or in other areas started doing the same thing. It's like, believe it or not, we're all connected. And they were able to do this. And it's kind of like, that's what this change is about. Hopefully we're going to get to a point where enough of us are awake and there's enough energy openings or higher vibration that we can be hit with a large blast and it'll be a mass awakening. We'll be a lot further along, I imagine. But can you imagine that? Waking up one day and you realize you don't feel tired anymore. Your body doesn't ache. You've moved into a high enough vibration that all these things were left behind. You can truly work from the heart. You're able to manifest the things that you want or need, because this is who we are. This is what we're moving into. This is what this time is about. And we're going to need others to help us, because we don't have to me, the journey is a lot easier if you have somebody that's been through it, somebody who has the knowledge and the wisdom of how to do it. And you figure that we're part of a universe, family of a universe. We have our space brother and sisters, or our off-world family, however you want to whatever terminology you like to use. In the ancient times, we called them gods and angels, but they're there to help us, and they're more advanced than we are. Right now, they say what we see on the market, we're 50 years ahead of that. And the shadow government, black ops programs or whatever, the world we don't get to play in, we get to pay for, that we send all of our tax dollars and our money to, they already have invisibility. We were planning on going to Mars, and all of a sudden around 67, that program was dropped. Right around that time, doing some reading or falling from one website to another, might be David Wilcox who talks about it. He met somebody who says that he went to Mars through the jump room, which is basically you go into a building, go into a room, you close the door, and you walk out the other door, and you're somewhere entirely different. Jerry Wills talks about it on one of his videos of the doorway of Aramuru down by Lake Titicaca. They talk about it on some of the History Channel programs, but they don't know how to activate it and don't know how to use it. For some reason, we figure we can walk into an area and everybody's going to tell us everything they know and all their secrets. And it don't happen that way. You need to, one, be a human being and be personable and let them know your heart, and not with dollar bills, but with your actions and your feelings and your vibrations. And Jerry has done this. He's a shaman. He's one hell of a neat guy. But he's been given the tones to activate the doorway there at Aramurua. And when I went down to Peru with him in 2005, he talked about it. And I think it was in 2009 or one of those videos on his website, it talks about, and he has video of a group that he took down, and they went through the doorway and what it was like, their experiences of it. So there's a lot out there that has changed. There's a lot more changes coming, but unfortunately, it's not going to be something that happened all at once overnight. So don't get discouraged. Open your heart. Know that the changes are coming. They're moving in slower. The more we open our hearts, the more we work with the energy, work with love, the quicker it'll happen. It's people say if the off-world beings are there, why don't they come in? Why don't they show themselves? They have all this technology. What I've read and the feeling I get and stuff is yes, they could, but if they did, how many human beings would suffer for what they did? Because let's face it, if they're overpopulated area, we don't care. We'll start shooting at them, and that's just collateral damage. Too bad that family over there died, or that whole neighborhood was destroyed. But we were shooting at that up there. You don't matter, and they won't operate like that. They're not from that type of energy. Admitted, yes, there's good, there's bad, but I believe that the bad has been removed from the negative has been removed from this area, and the majority of what we have around now they care about us. We mean something to them. They want to see us move forward and grow and become who we came here to be. James Gillian, he has ECETI.org, I believe is his website, ECETI. It's Enlightened Contact with Extraterrestrial Intelligence. And I'd been listening to him for quite a while on Art Bell and Coast to Coast. He's written 3 books. I've read all 3. Come on, give me a name. I have no idea what they are right now. Check out his website. They're on there. They're really good. give you a lot of information. I know a lot of things that just kind of, I don't know how I know them. And he knows how he knows them, which is really cool. We've been up, he has a 70-acre ranch up in Tacoma, Washington. In '08 and '09, my wife and I went up there for a conference. He has a conference around the 4th of July. It's really cool. You get to camp out. He has a place called the Field of Dreams, and you sit out there, and he'll tell you roughly when the craft are coming or what time they should be coming in and directions that they'll be coming in from. Him and I we were standing in the field talking. There's about 150 people there, and I'm not sure what we were talking about, but somebody says, there's one, and everybody had, about 4 people had those green laser pointers. So they started pointing on it so everybody could see where it was at, and people started chanting, power up, power up. And this little dot in the sky, no bigger than any other star, all of a sudden went poof. And it was the largest and brightest thing in the sky for maybe 2 to 3 seconds. It probably went to the size of a diameter of an eraser on a pencil. It grew to that size and got really bright and lasted 2 to 3 seconds. Then it dimmed down, and sometimes they'd zigzag, sometimes they'd just take off. They'd do different things to let us know that they were aware of what we were doing. But when that first one lit up, it was cool because I saw it and I felt it right in my heart at the exact same time. And I knew that there's some kind of a connection. I've been sitting in the house and got up to let the dog out. And the next thing I know, I'm standing out in the backyard. It's kind of like, what now I'm doing out here? And I look up, and there goes what we used to call a satellite. There goes one going over, and all of a sudden they get bright or get dim out. And it happens. It happened quite often. I don't go outside very much anymore. We got all rocks here. But I'm working on getting back to walking, so I'll be getting back out again. I have a hard time saying die. Yeah. Trying to remember where. Oh, the backyard. I live in Phoenix, and in the backyard here, as it gets dusk, I've seen them going over and sent love and a thank you to them. And they've actually brightened up and done something to let me know that they were aware of my thoughts. And you think how many people were on the earth and able to do that. I'll have more on this from prospecting and things like that. I haven't actually made contact, but there is a connection there. Remember, in the end, only kindness matters. It's free, pass it around. Think of different ways things that you can do to help people. Surprise loved ones. Do something really cool. Take your wife home a flower. Just give her a thank you card. You really want to blow somebody's mind. Give your children a thank you card. Remember, the best day you can have is the one you choose. How you feel about the day is how you feel about it. So remember, you can change your thoughts and your feelings. When you got a bummer of a day, think of a good time. And I'm kind of rambling again, so peace, love, and light. Have a great week. Good night. Thank you.